Hello friends, welcome back. Let's take a look at where we are today. So in keeping with our social emotional well-being, we're going to look at a tree of strength today. How am I feeling today? This is a self-check-in. What do I have at my disposal to help me with the things that I need help with? What am I struggling with? So begin by taking your hand and placing your hand on your paper. Grab your pencil and you are going to trace from your elbow all the way up to your fingers, and you're going to trace around your fingers without closing the tips. Trace around the spaces in between your fingers and trace around the spaces in between your fingers and trace around the spaces in between your fingers. Complete the whole entire side, and what you should have is the beginnings of a tree. Now, you're welcome to extend these branches all the way out to the end, taking them all the way out to the top and tapering them off on the ends because you want to make it look as much like a tree as possible. Now, the fun thing about this is that you have used your hand to draw the tree, so you're interacting with the tree. The tree, in essence, is you. All right, let's make these lines darker so you friends can see exactly what the tree looks like. Pressing the lines a little harder so I can see my tree. Now, if you want to get really creative, you can add extra branches onto this tree. You don't have to stop at these 5. You can join in other branches, put them behind, gives you a little bit more perspective. Put some going in the opposite direction to the ones that you've already drawn. This makes your tree more interesting. See there? And let them intersect each other. And you have the beginnings of your tree. The next step is to draw some leaves on your tree. Now make sure you draw your leaves nice and big. Make them big. That way you'll be able to write inside the leaves. Nice and big. Don't make them tiny. Make them nice and big. Draw them nice and deep so you can see the leaves and they won't disappear when you start adding color. Nice and big. Fill up the whole tree, giving yourself plenty of room to write on. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's a good number. Now, those are the leaves that you are going to write your strengths on. What is it that I'm really feeling good about as I'm going through my learning at home? On the bottom, you're going to draw some leaves that are falling down. Falling down leaves, going all the way down to the bottom. Falling down leaves. Depending on how much space you've got on either side of your tree, I'm just gonna stop right here. Put one over here for good measure, and I will stop right there. You now have your leaves that are falling down. My next thing is I'm going to think about the things that I'm really feeling good about. Now, you guys already know that Miss Nancy told you that gardening is her thing. So I'm gonna put gardening on here. Gardening is something that has really been helping me manage my days. Gardening. And I'm also going to put up here time spent with family. So I'm gonna put family up here because my time with my family has really increased, and that's a good thing. That's a strong point. And I'm going to put up here also, I don't know, sunshine. I really love the days when the sun is shining. Those are the happiest days. They make me feel like I can do anything and I'm not cooped up inside. So sunshine. And let me see, what else? I love my cup of tea first thing in the morning, so I'm gonna put tea up here. I almost can't start the day without my cup of tea. It helps to wake me up and make me feel like I can get moving. So tea. Ooh, another thing that I'm really enjoying is not having to put on my best clothes. I could even work in my pajamas if I want to. So, free dress. Imagine you are free dress every day. Free dress. Also, Time to read. I enjoy that I have more time to read. For some of you will be time to play video games. If video games are your thing, time to read. And oh, this is a good one. Home cooked meals every day. Home cooking. Isn't it fun not to have to deal with school food every single day? So home cooking. Now, I've written down the things that are my strengths. So now I'm going to take a moment to go down here and really think deeply about it before I start adding anything on. What are the things that I need help with? For Miss Monetti, it would be not worrying about you guys. So I hope everyone is doing okay, that everyone has supplies and that they can create. I'm really concerned because you know that that's my number one thing. I like to see you guys creating. So, worrying. I know this is a really difficult time because we're worried about people getting sick and maybe not even being there next time we see them. So, worrying about friends and family getting sick. So, I'm going to put illness over here. Illness. And it's more than just the virus, right? It's also just people getting sick because all those other things that cause people to be sick haven't gone away. We just haven't been focused on them so much because we've been so concerned about this virus. Okay, so I'm going to put worrying on here. Illness. What else am I concerned about? Well, you know, sometimes I want to do something in my garden, but then I realize, we're socially distancing. So it's not like I can run out of my house and go and pick up something every time I need it. So being able to plan. Planning. Planning when to go outside and go to the grocery store or go to the hardware store to go and get something that I need to complete my day. Planning. What else is causing me concern right now that I feel I need help with? Sometimes I'm personally really afraid I'm going to miss a meeting because there are so many things to keep up with now that I'm at home managing my own time. So, management. Time management. Hey, that's better. Time management. That's a really big issue. I bet that's a concern for you guys too, right? As you go through your day. Making sure you've gotten all your lessons in and that you've completed everything you need to complete for the day and that you filled out all those forms that you're supposed to fill out. Turn them into your teacher so that you get your grades, right? I know that's gotta be stressful a little bit sometimes. What else could I possibly be concerned about? You know what? Maybe I'll leave these two blank and give myself time to really think about it. Think about what else could I add on there? Now, what else could I do with my tree? I like to add details to my tree. Trees are not flat, right? They have things going on in them. So, I like to come along and add tree bark to my tree so it doesn't look flat. Adding tree bark to my tree. They always kind of look like veins to me, which is kind of interesting considering we have veins running through our hands, right? And our arms and our whole body. So adding those veins on there to create some texture on the tree. There we go. Adding veins to create texture. I'm just gonna add them all over my tree to make sure that my tree looks more lifelike. It's more interesting and begins to look less and less like my hand and more like a real tree. Adding texture. There. Okay, so we're gonna stop here for today. And then tomorrow when we see each other, we'll talk about adding color. And I want you to be thinking about that. What do I want to add color with? Do I want to watercolor paint it? Do I want to use color pencils? Do I want to use markers? How am I going to add color to my tree? Do I just want to carry on with a pencil and shade? Because that's what I have to work with. Okay, so be thinking about that, and then I will see you next time. Happy creating.